Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if you're insomnia, this channel is for you. Josh is a special ed teacher and worries that not sleeping well will affect his ability to focus and be patient during the busy school day. He has anticipatory insomnia, which is so common. In this episode, we're going to explain how looking at past experiences can help us move past this type of insomnia and sleep really well. Hey there, hope you are doing exceptionally well today. I am very excited to be back, as I mentioned in this previous podcast episode that I uploaded earlier today. Been away for a couple of days and really happy to be back here. I hope you're doing well, as mentioned. Now, there was a really good comment on Insomnia Insight number 241 from Josh, who has contributed with other great questions before that. But really important one here. So let's read it, and then we'll see how we can move past this anticipatory insomnia, which is so common. Some people call it like Sunday night insomnia. That's a common one. For other people, is like, you know, when you have a presentation or you're going to travel or things like that. When what's about to happen during the next day affects how we sleep. We're going to take a real close look at that. So hold on here. Stay with me, I should say. Here we go. Thanks for the video. We'll definitely try. I work in special education, so my day starts really early and requires a lot of focus and patience. I'm usually thinking about how if I don't fall asleep quickly, I won't have the energy required for the day. I think the stress from that definitely is a big part of what keeps me up. No doubt this analysis, this comment, kind of this analysis, this thought sounds 100% accurate, sounds 100% true, and not only for you, Josh, but I bet millions of people have the same thing going on. Meaning, thinking about like, if I don't sleep, then I'm not going to be able to do this, etc. You know. And I have a lot to say here. I'll try to keep it brief, but a lot of things I want to go over. And first of all, just this random thing that happened today. We were just walking, me and my wife, and there was this like little free library. We can just pick up a book. And my wife just picked up this book randomly. It says, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff About Money by Richard Carlson. Never heard of him before, but he apparently he's written a lot of books. And she just read some to me, and I was thinking, I'm going to talk about this tonight. So there are a couple things. Here's this one. Being attached to an outcome, holding on, takes an enormous amount of energy, not only during an effort, but often after the effort is complete, after it hasn't worked out, maybe you've been let down or dealt a bad hand. And what you know, we're gonna go over this in more detail in a second, but when I heard this, I was thinking about like being attached to an outcome is like thinking a lot about how you're going to function on not good sleep, like attaching how much and how well you sleep very closely to an outcome such as how you're going to function during the day. And that takes a lot, and like he says, enormous amount of energy. And that's number one. And second thing here, which I also think was really, really interesting, attachment creates fear that's getting your way. What if I lose? What if the deal doesn't go through? What if I'm rejected? What if? And that plays such, that's so true for sleep too. Attachment creates fear. Like, you know, if we think that all this hinges upon how I sleep, then we become fearful of not sleeping, and that fear gets in the way, as he says. In our case, it gets in the way of good sleep. All right, so what we've established so far is that, let's go back to Josh's example here. Josh is definitely worried that not sleeping well will affect how he's able to focus and be patient during the day. And we also established that fear creates insomnia, which, so again, it becomes like in a way, it becomes like this vicious cycle, because Josh is like fearful not sleeping, then he doesn't sleep well, then he cannot focus, then he's more worried, etc. So what should one be doing? So I talked about this a little bit before, and as I pointed out, like attaching how we sleep closely with an outcome is not good. But you may say, well, how am I supposed to like detach these things? Well, here comes what I think is really the key. It's the key becomes examining the evidence, or kind of looking back at what's happened in the past and trying to explore if it's really the case that every time I didn't sleep well, then I was terribly impatient and I was not able to focus at all. Or the opposite, every time I slept well, I was really able to be patient and focus, and see if that holds true all the time. Now, you may very well find that, most of the time when I couldn't really focus and I was impatient was when I didn't sleep well, but probably not 100% of the time. And therein lies the whole key. Meaning, if you can find that, there was actually that day where I slept not much at all, and I was surprised that I was able to function pretty good the following day. Or, there was that day where I thought I slept great, but then I really was impatient during the following day. And those things may seem minor, but they prove that everything does not hinge upon sleep. And even if they seem like outliers or not frequent events, they are the key. They prove that it is not true that I have to sleep such and such amount of time and really well to be able to do my work really well. And going back to you, Josh, again, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm repeating myself, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if you find that actually I'm able to do my job pretty well even when I don't get enough sleep. And once you're starting to think in these terms, then the fear of not sleeping well decreases, and with decreased fear, decreased fear, then less pressure, less tension, and you'll begin to sleep better. And then the whole thing can just be like reversed. Like you can start sleeping a little bit better, feel better, be less fearful of sleep even better, etc., 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 etc. So that was what I really want to convey today. So Josh, hope you found this helpful, and to anyone, please leave comments. They are extremely helpful, or send me an email, daniel@insomniainsight.co. And here's a few things that I think I'm going to finish off every video with, which is, if you're new to the channel, the kind of basics, the core things that I want to educate people about is in the beginning, episode 1 through like 20 or so, are really like core. And once you watch those and you kind of get the hang of it, then you can just browse and watch whatever you think is good. I think that's a good approach. Number 2, as I said, comments, emails are super helpful. They're really the lifeblood of this channel. Number 3, if you feel all you need is here to sleep better and get past your insomnia, that's amazing. If you do want a little bit more hand-holding support, if you want like more of a curated path towards better sleep and have an iPhone, please download Bedtime with the YBDTYME, which is my app where I'm coaching, and I would be extremely happy to help anyone sleep better there. And if you have an Android, it is coming to Android in a few months. So that said, conclude here, and hope to have you back here real soon. Until then, take it easy.